Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Monica Corrado here for a Facebook Live with you. Okay, here we go. Monica Corrado, certified GAPS practitioner, the GAPS chef, according to Dr. Natasha. I'm here to answer your questions about the GAPS diet, about GAPS cooking. I'm here every Tuesday, or try to be. Sorry I missed last week, folks. I think I missed last week, didn't I? I don't know. I can't remember. But here we are. Here we are. We'll be on for an hour, and I will answer your questions about GAPS. So, one more time with feeling. First of all, welcome anyone that's new to the group. Welcome to the group, and we're happy to have you. I hope that this page serves you well. I do invite you to do a couple of things when you're on the page. One, to go ahead and use the search function before you go ahead and post a question, because there's a lot of activity on this group and a lot of very, very wise people, a lot of people who have been with me for a long time, been doing GAPS for a long time, and there's a lot of great information readily available to you. I also encourage you to jump on Dr. Natasha's website, gaps.me, and look at the FAQs. She's spent a lot of time answering those questions, very specific questions sometimes, and I think that is can be very, very helpful for everyone. And as always, I do request that everyone read either the yellow book or the blue book prior to joining the page, because one cannot implement the diet if you don't read the manual. So make sure that you're reading the manual. I really encourage you all to do that. And when you think you've read it, go back and read it again, or go back and look up things that are very important to you. That would be a great thing for you to do. Okay, what else can I announce here? I have announced a Learn to Cook 2 4-day intensives in June and August. If you'd like to come and be with me in Colorado, in Loveland, for a 3-month program, Learn to Cook. I'm only taking 12 students. So check my website for that, simplybeingwell.com. What else can I tell you? This fabulous book, my second edition, is now available in French and Italian. You can find that on my publisher's website, CelineRiverPress.com. We're working on Spanish and German and Turkish eventually. So do check those out. Please, everyone, do not try to purchase my book from Amazon, because those are third-party sellers, and they're going to charge far more than I will through or my publisher does through their website. So please do not look for the book on Amazon. Let people know they are crazy. All right. So again, welcome. Just a few little disclaimers. I am not a medical doctor. Anything I say has not been approved of by the FDA, but I will do my best to accurately represent the GAPS diet, accurately represent what Dr. Natasha has written in the Gut and Psychology Syndrome, the Gut and Physiology Syndrome, and her other books, Vegetarianism Explained, and the Heart Book. All right, that's my job. All right, let's say hello to everyone. Hello, Sherry. Hello, Ashley. Hello, Farhia. Good to have you. Hello, Muna. Hello, Yasmin. Hiya, Yasmin. Hello, Uma. Hello. Hello, Shannon. Hello. I'm going to try to say this well. Abida. Anyway, hello. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Hello, Tanya. Good to have you. I'm glad you made it. Thank you, Uma. You're very sweet. I'm so happy you have my book, Shannon. And for people who don't want to pay the crazy amount of shipping, folks, because the book is almost 3 pounds, it is 2.8 pounds. Very, very heavy. And so it's going to cost money to ship. You are welcome and encouraged to get the Kindle edition, where you can search by terms, or also the PDF if the shipping is prohibitive. I know you'd rather have the copy maybe in your hands, but you certainly could get the PDF and then print it, have it printed out for yourself, etc. All right. Hello, Sandy. I'm so happy you're pruning your peach tree. We had snow here yesterday, and it was 11 degrees Fahrenheit when I woke up this morning. Okay, hey, Leonie is here. Woohoo! Good to have you. Wonderful, wonderful. You haven't been here for a while, so I welcome you back. All right, folks. So I usually begin this with a teaching. And I have been talking about liver time because we are now in springtime in the Northern Hemisphere, meaning that we are during the time now of the liver gallbladder time. So I do encourage you all to be doing things to support the liver. You can go back to my YouTube channel, Ask the Gap Chef. I did an entire thing on liver. I said, it's liver time. You can find that on YouTube about a year ago, Ask the Gap Chef. So check that out. So if you want more information about how to work with your liver, what foods to eat, what detoxification to do, etc., etc., etc. All right. What else can I tell you? Liver time. Oh, I want to say one thing. Today I want to talk about a couple different, this is going to be a little bit of a smorgasbord, but I'd like to respond to some of the things that are on the page, that are showing up on our page, or on my page, on the page, on our page, yeah? So let's do that now. Number one, let me start differently. Please, people, please, all of you dear ones, if you have specific conditions and you wonder if GAPS will help, the answer is yes. Dr. Natasha just talked all about this at the GAPS OnCon in February. Even if a condition is not listed in either the Blue Book or on her website at FAQs, we know, all of us practitioners and people who have done the diet know that GAPS will help. Why? 2 reasons, maybe 57, but I'm going to give you 2 reasons. One reason the GAPS diet will help any condition is because it eliminates toxins from the body. Woohoo! Right? Number 2, what else does it do? It brings in nutrient-dense foods. GAPS is full of nutrient-dense foods, and chronic illnesses are the result of malnutrition. Now, I could talk about what causes malnutrition for probably a year, but I'll just name a couple of things here. What makes people malnourished? What makes people malnourished? 1, the quality of the food that they're eating. And we know in the U.S., certainly, the standard American diet, SAD, the standard American diet is SAD. Why? Because it's highly processed foods, and because in the U.S., sadly, the majority of our foods, even if they're not processed foods, are full of glyphosate. Glyphosate will blow holes in your gut no matter how much meat stock you give yourself. Yes? Okay? Glyphosate, fungicides, herbicides, all fertilizers, chemicals. Why are we malnourished? Because we eat food full of chemicals. Why do we have leaky guts? Lots of reasons. One of them is the chemicals on the food that we're eating. We're also eating processed foods, so we are malnourished. We're also eating food that's not live. We don't have any ferments. We don't have any, not we, me, and you and GAPS, but the whole U.S., right? We're not eating live food full of enzymes and good bacteria and good yeast, etc., etc. We're not eating any fat, or the fat we are eating is soy and canola, which is garbage, right? Or vegetable oil, whatever that is. So why are people sick? Why are people getting chronic diseases? Why are people having autoimmune diseases? Why will GAPS heal almost everything? Why will GAPS help at least every condition on the planet? Because number one, we remove toxins. Number two, we add in real nutrient-dense food. So we stop poisoning the body, and then we give it nutrition. I wonder if that's going to work. You think that could help? Yes, it could help. So even if you only do those two things, remove the garbage and chemicals and the toxins and put in the nutrient-dense foods. I love all these hearts. Keep them coming. They feel really good today. GAPS will help. That's not to mention all the fabulous bringing in all the beneficial microbes. That's not to mention healing and sealing the gut and stopping the toxicity from running to the brain. I mean, on and on and on. So if you have a condition or an illness or a symptom or a chronic symptom or a chronic disease or whatever, right? And it hasn't been specifically addressed by Dr. Natasha, either on the FAQs or in this book, which has an A to Z of conditions, right? The GAPS will help. Rest assured, GAPS will help. GAPS will help. Right? Find the best quality food you can find. Connect with your farmers. Grow your own. Right? Work in your community. Right? Like connect. Grow food. Cook food. Share food. Right? This is the place. And you will heal. You will heal. The doctors will say no. The doctors will say no. But we will say yes. Okay? So, even if you have a condition, or your child does, or your spouse does, your mate does, your grandmother does, or whoever, the lady down the block, if they have a condition that is not specifically addressed in GAPS, rest assured it will help. Start there. And start anywhere. I had this fabulous conversation with my Thursday online group called GAPS Chat, and we talked, thanks to Ashley, we talked about what are the top 2 or 3 things you could do. Just bring food to people. Teach them how to make meat stock. Bring them a pate, right? Anything. Get them to eat real butter. Something. All of these things will really, really help whoever it is that you're talking to, whoever it is you're caring about, whoever it is you want to see feeling better. Nourishing, traditional, love-cooked food goes a long way, folks, to heal a lot of conditions. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, and to really encourage you to look around on FAQs, look in the blue book, and then even if you don't find your specific issue that's happening, GAPS will help. No joke. Promise. So I'm here today to help you understand how to bring GAPS alive for you, how to implement GAPS, how to answer your questions about anything about cooking for the GAPS diet. I'm happy, and the detox protocol, etc., etc. So let's get started. I did say I wanted to talk about a couple things. That was that. Oh, let me talk about one more thing, and then we'll get started with your questions. What is illness? What is illness? Everyone's afraid of illness. Not everyone, but we have been raised to be afraid of illness, to be afraid of being sick. Okay? We've been raised to be afraid of being sick. Do not be afraid of being sick, people. I mean, of course you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to suggest that if illness is the body detoxing, which is what it is, right? Runny nose, gunk coming up out of the lungs, ears are filled with fluid, right? Diarrhea, whatever, fever, This is the body throwing off toxins, right? It's what we want to do is really come in and support that immune system. Support the immunity, the natural, innate immunity of every human. We have an innate immune system at the cellular level, everybody. What does that system need to work? It needs to not be toxic, so continue your detoxification methods, and it needs nutrition. GAPS. There you go. Do not be afraid of illness, right? What is your job to do? Support the detox pathways of the body and give the body the nutrition it needs to come back to balance. Yeah? I just want to give you that, folks. You know, we're raised in a world that says that germs jump into bodies. They do not. Germs do not jump into bodies, folks. Okay? Your body is built with an immune alliance to handle any germ that comes along. Oh, by the way, trillions of microbes in the body. Billions or trillions, maybe billions. A lot. I was at a talk on Saturday with Dr. Michael Gaeta, who I love, colleague, friend, incredible naturopathic physician, acupuncturist, Chinese medical doctor, etc., herbalist. I think I said that wrong. Anyway, he was talking about the fact that there have been trillions of microbes identified in the world, and that was, I think, 6 years ago. Nature, a magazine called Nature, and only trillions, folks, trillions. And only about, is it 1,400 of them can cause problems for humans. That's like 0.0000025% or some craziness. I'm getting the math wrong, but you get the idea. So, eat your fermented foods. Drink your fermented tonics. Have lots of milk kefir. Kefir, 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 right? Dr. Natasha says clearly in the Blue Book that a cup of kefir a day, milk kefir, or kefir cream, right? I probably couldn't have a cup of kefir cream a day. Maybe a quarter. Yum. Anyway, that much a day, it will serve you so well. Prophylactic, protective, works against the pathogens to keep you well. So, anyway, I just wanted to give you those little things. I wanted to talk to you about that. And I wanted to give you some heart about illness. Be not afraid of your body in having an immune response. We love fevers. Let them run. We love throwing up. Actually, we don't. I hate throwing up. But what is throwing up? Brilliant body. Body says, no way, we are not letting this toxin get into our bloodstream. We're throwing it up from the stomach. Brilliant. Wow. Divine architecture. Divine architecture. Yeah? Diarrhea. Get this stuff out of here. Yeah. Just want to say a few things. How can you help yourself on GAPS if you're doing everything you need to do and you still feel terrible? Your body needs more support. Homeopathics, absolutely. We have several homeopaths on this group. You also want to check out Joette Calabrese. Hope I said that right. My dear friend, she has amazing information about homeopathics. Too, some courses. Some lives she does. So homeopathics, support yourself with homeopathics. Support yourself with herbal remedies. Fabulous, very good, totally okay to do. Yeah, support yourself with raw milk. Cultured. If you're on GAPS, you're culturing your raw milk. Yeah? Okay. Just make sure that if you're working with herbs as teas or tinctures or syrups, that they're non-irradiated, they are organic or wild-crafted, they're clean, just like everything else we do, and they're not high in sugar. Okay? All right, let's get started with some questions. Thank you for all the hearts. Keep them coming. I love this. I love hearts today. Today is a very important day for me. Some of you that know me personally know what it's all about, Alfie, and the rest of you know it's been a rough year, and we'll get through today just fine with lots of love from all of you beloveds. Okay. Yasmin asks, is kefir good, loose stool, diarrhea? Yes, Yasmin. When we have a loose stool or diarrhea, we want to have high protein dairy. Okay, high protein dairy is going to be anything made with milk. So kefir, milk kefir. Whey, that comes from milk. Whey is wonderful for firming the stool. And yogurt. Those three things are going to be best to help firm up the stool. Okay, hello Spencer. Hello Vicky. Vicky's here. Hello Victorious Valerie. Hello Barrett. Hello Mariana. Hello Anna Clara. Hello. Hello Mindy. Hey Mindy, how are you doing over there? Hope all is well. Hello Uma. What else have we got? We've got Aza. Hello Aza. Hello everyone. Okay, let me get some questions. Uma asks, would you recommend GAPS diet and detox bath during pregnancy? So Uma, dear Uma, full GAPS only during pregnancy. Dr. Natasha is pretty clear about that in both the yellow and blue books. We only do full GAPS during pregnancy because we don't want to dump toxins into the fetus, right? Into the child, into the baby. So you want to only do full GAPS. There may be a couple of exceptions, but for the most part, you're doing full GAPS. You may be able to hang out on stage 2 for a really long time. If you were on stage 2 when you got pregnant, that would, I would think, be fine to do. Detox baths are wonderful things to do during pregnancy and any time because you're detoxifying out. You're getting it out. Now, make sure not too hot, of course. But yeah, detox baths are great. All right. Uma asks, do you know any good oil for frying except good fat? So in terms of frying, remembering that frying is a very advanced cooking technique, right? We're not going to fry on intro. You can fry on full GAPS. We want to make sure you're not creating any acrylamides, which are burnt pieces when you fry, so be careful of that. Your best frying oil is tallow from cows, tallow from lamb. Very good for frying. Also, of course, lard. Any of your saturated or animal fats are going to be good for frying. You can also fry in coconut oil, but we know the coconut oil is going to make these things taste a little coconutty, especially since we get not refined coconut oil, right? So, yes, stick with your animal fats for frying, for sauteing, for cooking, for eating. Animal fats, animal fats, animal fats. Do not try to fry in any plant oil except for coconut. Palm, maybe. Someone asked about palm oil. When they reviewed my book, palm oil is listed as a fat that's okay for GAPS. Remembering, I've talked about this before, palm oil, the difficulty with palm oil is that it is often not sustainably grown, right? So we always want to do things that are sustainable, folks. That's the most important thing. One of the most important things, no matter what we're doing, right? Whether it's fats, what fats do I eat? What eggs do I eat? What meat do I eat? We want all the food to come from sustainable farms, from some sustainable practices, things that give into the earth versus, taking and depleting the earth. So that's what we really want to do. Hello, Tanya. Should I get the yellow book or the blue book from Dr. Tasha? Well, here's the answer for everyone. Two things. One, the yellow book was written first, so it's nice to have that. And the yellow book is specifically about brain function issues, gut and psychology, gut brain issues. Okay? You can tell just by the cover is about autism, ADD, ADHD, depression, a lot of people have it, schizophrenia, bipolar, dyspraxia, dyslexia. That's your yellow book. Fabulous book. Blue book is about everything else. Physiology. So if you have something that's going on like fatigue or neurological disease, hormone problems, arthritis, allergies, etc., she has an entire A to Z, right? Of, oh my goodness, from addictions to vaginal thrush, that's A to V, right? I don't know what the Z is that she has, but there are tons of things. So depending on where you're at, what you've got going on, get one or the other books. I would get both, but start somewhere, whatever works for you, Tanya. Hello, Joanna. Who else is here? Fatima's here. Woohoo! Here. Hi, Dill. Yahoo! Let's see who else. Faria's here. Yay, Mindy. Thanks for that. Yahoo! Okay, Hannah is here. Roseanne is here. Hello, Roseanne. Hello, Spencer. Hello, Natasha. Hello. All right, let me get moving. Get some more of these questions answered. Here we go. Shannon asks, is buttermilk allowed on GAPS? I'm on stage 5 and made the cultured butter, and I don't want to waste anything. So yes, that would be fine as long as it's cultured buttermilk, and that's exactly how you would make it for GAPS, which is make cultured cream, spin it out so that you get the butter, and that buttermilk is absolutely fine on GAPS. You can have it on any stage as long as you are tolerant to dairy. You can drink it, yummy. You can use it to, you could use it to ferment nut flour, seed flour, instead of whey. You could try that. I would go there. All right. Hello, Anna. Anna has a huge question here. I've had horrible brain fog that completely disappeared after starting the coffee enemas. Yes! So I would not like to stop doing them. However, I'm afraid I'm not replenishing the mineral source. So the first question is, how do you feel? I really encourage everyone. I will answer your question in a moment. Remember, folks, one of the biggest gifts of GAPS that I like to talk to people about, remind you of, is GAPS helps you to remember to get in touch with this physical body. What is your body saying? So, if you're having coffee enemas and then you're dizzy and weak, yeah, you probably need to have more minerals, okay? If you're doing coffee enemas and you feel like $1,000,000, you're probably not depleting minerals. Listen to the body. Okay, I just want to give you that. Always listening to your body. It will tell you. Okay, so she's afraid I'm not replenishing the minerals lost. Do you have any suggestions on how best to replenish? I cannot choose yes. Yeah, so, salt. S-A-L-T. Make yourself a fabulous electrolyte drink with lemon, just water, a squeeze of lemon, and some good mineral salt. Bingo, badanga. There you go. High mineral salt. I did an entire Facebook Live on salt. You can check my website for salt, simplybeingwell.com under resources. You can jump on YouTube for the Facebook Live about salt. Definitely good salt, not any... Please, folks, Himalayan salt is not that great for you. Just letting you know. Look for a high mineral salt. Okay. Follow up on the coffee enema. After doing the coffee enemas, I have to do an Epsom salt bath. If I wake up during the day and after with increased symptoms... Okay, what does this mean? What happens to the toxins released after a coffee enema if I don't do a detox bath? You never have to do a detox bath after a coffee enema. You can. It's suggested that you do, but you don't have to. Remembering the toxins are going out. When you do the coffee enema, you're adding coffee into the system, which is making the liver detox faster or more efficiently, probably just faster. And so the toxins are going straight out. You bring in the coffee, you hold it, you let go of the coffee, the toxins go out. So if you're having joint pains or swollen joints, blessings upon you. And I would suggest doing things. You might want to try some castor oil packs on those joints just to try and see if that'll work for you. Works for some people, doesn't work for other people. I would really increase the amount of meat stock you are drinking, especially meat stock that is full of cartilage and skin and everything blended in. If you're having joint issues, folks, put turmeric in your meat stock, pieces of the root. Drink turmeric tea. That's an anti-inflammatory. Really work that meat stock. That's what I would be doing. I hope that's helpful. Okay, we said okay. Fatima asks, "Hey Monica, hope you're well. Thank you. What? I hope you're well too. What does it mean when cholesterol spikes and thyroid spikes when doing extended stage 2, with also kidneys that are struggling to clean up?" Okay, folks, so cholesterol is going to spike. Don't worry about it. Did I say that? Did you know the original cholesterol levels were 300? Until there was a drug, statin, that was produced that would lower cholesterol levels. And so they started saying that you really needed to be at 200. No, now you need to be at 120. So I just want to say, everybody, read a really great book by Ufi Ravenskov. It's called The Cholesterol Myth. The Cholesterol Myth. It's very old. It's got to be at least, I don't know, maybe 40 years old now, maybe 30 years old now. I think it was written in I don't know if it was written in the 1980s or the 90s, but anyway, The Cholesterol Myth. Read it. Remember that the medical folks have been reducing what they call good cholesterol limits. They've been reducing that number for the last 50 years, maybe 70. So that's the first thing. I just want to give you that to think about. Number 2, cholesterol is not the problem. Cholesterol is a very beneficial molecule. The body needs it. The body makes it, and the body makes it in response to chronic inflammation. So what cholesterol is telling you, if it's over 300, which it probably isn't, what cholesterol is telling you is that there's chronic inflammation in the body. That means that you need to do things to bring the inflammation down. What do we do to bring the inflammation down? Meat stock, meat stock, meat stock to heal and seal the gut. Juices, green juices, and lots of them. Green juices. Dr. Natasha has a bunch in here. In her blue, I'm saying in here, you don't know. In the blue book, sorry. Juices, meat stock, lots of beautiful things like egg yolks and some more egg yolks. So, and of course, all your organ meats, right? Liver and gizzards and hearts and spleen and pancreas and thymus and, right? That's what you want to do. So, yeah, all those things, dear everyone, right? Cholesterol spikes happen for people on GAPS because you're healing and because you're healing in layers, right? So you may be going along, oh, I'm good. Cholesterol spike. That's okay. That just means usually, as far as I know, that the body is now able to heal another layer. Now, when kidneys are struggling to keep up, a couple things. One, water. Not chlorinated water, not municipal water. Got to be spring water or filtered water that you structure. So I have something about water on my website. Go check out the Analemma wand to structure your water. You get water from a spring, excellente, as long as the spring's clean. You get mountain water, fabulous. You get, if you have to filter the water, do that, but lots of water for those kidneys. Trying to think about and beet kvass. Beet kvass is great to help your kidneys. And I know Sandy is on here. Nettles, nettle tea, stinging nettle tea, Nettle, nettle tea, nettles. Drinking, I don't know, a quart a day. Start with 2 cups. 2 cups of nettle tea a day. Very good for you. All right, that's what I've got, my dears. Also, a quick thing about thyroid. One of the things Dr. Natasha has talked about a lot lately, certainly in the GAPS OnCon this year and last year, and when I teach with her for the Certified GAPS Practitioner Program and Coach Program, Practitioner Program mostly, she talks a lot about the fact that our hormones are dictated by our microbiome. Our hormones, our endocrine system, our hormones are regulated, that's a better word, by the microbes in our gut. So, even thyroid. So when we're having an issue with our thyroid, whether it's low thyroid function, high thyroid function, quote unquote, et cetera, or we're having problems as women with our menstrual cycle, if we're having problems with anything hormonal, losing hair, right? Thyroid, adrenals, gonads, ovaries, you name it. Look to the microbiome. Look to the microbes. You know, I have to say, folks, I know you know this, or many of you do. Some of you that are new don't. GAPS is a way of life. It's a journey. It is not a quick fix. It is not a silver bullet. It's not going to be over in a year. I'm sorry to say, for all of you that are looking for the fast fix, we've been trained to look for the fast fix, right? It's not how healing happens. It's going to happen over time, years of time. So, you know, if you can embrace GAPS as the journey, then things will come to balance over time. And your body is very wise. It will use your resources. It'll use the resources that you are giving it and those organ meats and those nutrient-dense foods, right, et cetera, et cetera. It will use them as it sees fit, not you and your brain, not you and your doc, right? It has to do with what does the body see. So just keep your eye on the prize and enjoy the journey. That's all I got. Okay, Vicky says, Vicky Lee, sorry. Detox baths max at 20 minutes or is it okay to go longer? Some have said toxins reabsorb. Yeah. I've never heard that, folks, about reabsorbing toxins. I mean, maybe, but no. Here's what happens. Vicky, go back and listen to my YouTube on detox baths. I do believe that that I spoke about the fact that you want to watch the time and the intensity of a detox bath, right? So that means that when we first start detox baths, we start with just a little bit of either Epsom salt or seaweed or apple cider vinegar or bicarbonate of soda, blah, 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 right? Those 5 things, right? Sea salt. We start with a little bit and we start with a little bit of time. So you can regulate, right? You can regulate detox baths, how much detoxification is happening by either, actually both, by either number 1, regulating the amount of agent you're putting into the bath, right? Start with a little and increase, and the amount of time you're in the bath, right? Both of those things. So play with them and see how your body's doing and see what works best for you. Start with a little bit and a little bit of time, especially with children, folks, right? A little bit with a little bit of time. What I mean by that is don't start with 1.5 cups of Epsom salt baths for 20 minutes for a 5-year-old who's never had one, right? I hope that's helpful. Yeah, I've never heard about it reabsorbing. Certainly Dr. Natasha hasn't talked about that. Okay, hope that was helpful. Okay, Faria says, my daughter wakes up every night after 3 or 4 hours and stays awake for 4 hours. She's fully awake and doesn't cry, just talks to herself. I give her Epsom salt baths before bed and a castor oil pack. I would give her the Epsom salt bath before bed, but not the castor oil pack. Castor oil can rev you up. So move that. She seems she had a heat rash. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So here's the thing. I would, for castor oil for your child, I would move the castor oil to the morning time. If she has heat, castor oil will bring heat. That's what it does. It increases blood flow to the area. If she's uncomfortable, do less or do less often, right? We don't want her to be uncomfortable. Okay? Yeah. Epsom salt baths should help her sleep. She just talks to herself. She also may have things going on in her mind. You may want to try Bach Flower Remedy, white chestnut. White chestnut is for when your mind can't calm down. Sherry wants to know, do you have any tips for eating out? Yes. Check out my blog on Saline River Press, which is called, it's called Traveling on the GAPS Diet, something like that. You'll get it. You'll understand. So SELENE riverpress.com. Go to blogs. My blog is called Simply Being Well, which is the name of my company. And then you'll find all sorts of travel tips, which include eating out on GAPS. All right. Hope that's helpful. Let's see. Anna Clara says, my symptoms have returned after 9 weeks on intro stage 2. Have not introduced anything new. Should I be concerned that I'm doing something my body does not tolerate? They have been gone for most of these 9 weeks. Nope. Well, here's my understanding, Anna Clara, is that, again, the body will revisit symptoms as it heals. And so, yeah, I would be always, everyone is to be increasing the amount of fermented foods you're eating, increasing the amount of tonics you're taking in, increasing the amount of cultured dairy you're eating on stage 2, right? Increase the amount of fats, increase your egg yolk, etc., etc., etc. And just know that this happens often, where symptoms show up again, and you're just peeling another layer. That's my best understanding of what's happening for you. Yep. Hello, Dill. Can you please upload all your live videos on YouTube? Yes, I'm making note of it. I'm sorry I've been remiss. I will do it. Thank you. I shall. Hello, Hannah. Okay, Roseanne. Okay, here we go. Spencer says, I'm on stage 3 of intro and suffering from constipation, which can last a week between each... Oh, no. Aside from once, I've had no discomfort from this. I'm wondering, what are the negative effects of constipation? Yeah, the negative effects of constipation is that if we remember that the stool is the way, the bowel movement, the stool, the feces, that's the way the body gets rid of toxins. If you are holding the stool in your body for a week, all of those toxins are recirculating to your brain and through your bloodstream. That's the problem. So Dr. Natasha is very clear that no one should be constipated that long, meaning everyone, I'll say it differently, should have a bowel movement every day, at least one. So if you are constipated on stage 3, one of the things I would do is absolutely an enema every day that you don't have a bowel movement. That is a required step on GAPS, unless you have some physical reason that you should not do enemas, right? Obviously, anal fissures, hemorrhoids, probably not the best idea to do an enema, and there are probably more listed in the blue book. But basic enema, just to clear things out. Yes, absolutely. Every day that you don't have a bowel movement. Everyone. Get jiggy with enemas, folks. Go get an enema kit. I think I have some on my website. I hope so. Stainless steel bucket. Long tube. Off you go. Enemas are what we're supposed to be doing if we're constipated. Help the body. Now, a couple other things, Spencer and everyone. Constipation is the result of 2 things in my understanding, and this is the way that Dr. Natasha teaches it. A congested liver and dysbiosis in the gut. So, what can you do to help? Beet kvass, lots of beet kvass to help decongest that liver. GAPS milkshakes, which you can absolutely do if you're on stage 3. GAPS milkshakes to help decongest the liver and to help clear any stones over time. What else can you do to decongest the liver? Castor oil packs on the liver. I have that on our page under, I think it's under featured posts. I think it's there. How to do that. Yeah, so whether or not you are quote unquote uncomfortable or happy, you're not uncomfortable. That's the word. We're happy you're not uncomfortable, but you are toxic. So let's get rid of that poop. Let's get rid of the feces. Let's get rid of those toxins every day, folks. Enemas. Now, there's a dear friend and colleague of mine. Her name is Monica Holland, Monika Holland. She has a enema masterclass on the GAPS training website. If you want to really learn enemas, check it out. And the other thing that you could do is start adding in you might want to add in some raw vegetables, or at least, I hope you're doing a lot of sauerkraut, the fiber from the kraut. You're welcome, Uma. Okay. Yeah, quick thing also, Spencer and everyone else, please get this book and read the chapter on bowel management. Bowel management. There's a whole chapter in there. Dr. Natasha gives you 10 things to do. Check it out. Very, very good. All right. Okay, so Fatima says, read the chapter on the blue book on healing. Yes, there you go. Healing is like peeling an onion. You got it, sister. She talks about why you may feel unwell again, and sometimes when you're healing. Yes. Very, very good. Thank you for that, Fatima, putting that in here. Yep. Read the chapter on healing. Very, very good for our new friend. All right, here we go. Natasha. Hi, Monica. Can I feed my toddler aged cheese on stage 5 since he tolerates kefir? And if yes, how old should the cheese be? Are you already feeding him kefir cheese that you're making yourself by straining the whey? Are you already feeding him yogurt cheese that you're making yourself from straining yogurt? I would start there. And then, yes, you should be able to start aged cheese. Remember, everyone, aged cheese, 6 months or longer, organic, grass-fed, 1 mouthful. Wait 3 to 5 days for a reaction. Reaction could be constipation. That's going to be your biggest reaction, usually with cheese. And then start with another mouthful 3 to 5 days later. Okay, Natasha, I hope that's helpful. Make sure it's a hard cheese. That's what you want. Fatima says, Monica, how can I make cottage cheese when I'm doing extended stage 2? So Dr. Natasha calls yogurt cheese cottage cheese. That's what she calls it. We don't call it cottage cheese in the U.S. It's a totally different thing. But if you want to make GAPS cottage cheese, it's yogurt that is strained through a cheesecloth or a linen towel. It's strained. You strain the whey out, and then you get the yogurt cheese in the top. That's what she calls cottage cheese. And yes, you can have it then. Hope that's helpful. All right. Dill Aura says, I don't have a bath, so can I use a portable plastic bath for a whole body detox bath, or just stay away from plastic? That means no whole body bath for me. I hear you. So some people do foot baths instead. Other people use, yeah, it's a good question, Dill, right? So if you can guarantee that, and I don't know if you can, that the plastic will not leach, then you could do a whole body bath. Remembering that heat causes plastic to leach into the water, and of course things like apple cider vinegar would cause plastic to leach into the water. I'd probably stick with foot baths. That's just my personal opinion. Find a friend who has a tub. Do it once a week. Anyway, just a thought. Hello, Megan. Hello, hello. Okay, Dill says, I have made beet kvass without whey according to your recipe. Okay. I leave it 5 days on the counter to ferment. It tastes very salty. Is it okay? Yes. Yeah, so if you don't like the salty flavor, add whey, half salt, right? Halve your salt and add whey. Halve your salt and add a vegetable starter that you get from Cultures for Health or something. Halve the salt and add a probiotic capsule. Yeah, those are your options. Yep. Good. I'm glad you watched the Salt Facebook Live. Thank you, Anna. I'm happy it was helpful. Yasmin says if you're having joint issues, look into cupping therapy. You like cupping? Yep. Victorious Valerie says there are lots of health myths out there that turn out to not even be accurate. Absolutely. So that's why I'm always trying to point people back to the book, back to Dr. Natasha, back to the book, back to Dr. Natasha. That's the way to go, yeah? Okay, Yasmin is sharing. There's a video on YouTube by Dr. Natasha on cholesterol. Amazing. Thank you for that. We'll take a look. Yes. Victorious Valerie says, get the red book by Dr. Natasha, as that one uncovers the real truth between cholesterol myths. Perfect. Yes, and I have it right here. That's this one. You want to know about cholesterol? Check it out. Put your heart in your mouth. Fabulous book. Good. Faria, hello. What is your opinion on high levels of potassium in a blood test? You know, folks, I am not a blood test girl. I am a chef. I don't do a lot with blood tests and stuff. I just don't. I'm not a naturopathic doctor or any other doctor, so I don't really do a lot. In terms of potassium, what would that mean? Potassium. Let's see. Potassium. Hold on, I'm finding it. Potassium is the body's brake as a mineral. That means potassium slows the body down. It certainly slows the heart down. Phosphorus is the body's accelerator. So I would say, again, this is my best thought on this, given my training and background. I would look at seeing how much phosphorus you have in the diet and add more. See if that could come to balance. Phosphorus is something we don't really find, except mushrooms have a lot of phosphorus in there. All I know is that they're balancers, right? So phosphorus balances potassium. And so if you have too much potassium, that would mean, I would think, you need more phosphorus. I would look into foods that have phosphorus and start there. That's my best thought for you there. Okay. All right, I'm going to, hello, yay, Sandy's proud of me, I said Nettles. Hello, Carolina, you're welcome, Fatima, I appreciate you too, thanks for coming by. Hello, Amanda, you're welcome, Vicky. Hello, Kelly. Fatima says, homeopathy for sleep talkers works amazing. Get in touch with a qualified homeopath in your area. Again, we have 2 homeopaths on this page that I'm aware of. One is Lise Battaglia, Lise, L-I-S-E, Battaglia. You can tag her. You can also look at, I'm thinking, sorry, I'm going totally blank. I am a little bit tired, folks, today because today is a big day. So I'm doing my best here. Anyway, homeopathy, yes. Sorry. Faria, you're welcome. Roseanne, hi, Roseanne. Good to see you. Any tips on shingles? Yeah, shingles is an AI issue, autoimmune issue. What do you need to do? Heal and seal the gut, heal and seal the gut, heal and seal the gut to get the inflammatory response down. I would do 2 things for shingles. 1, I would put kefir all over the shingles. Let it dry, like walk around the house. I would see if that works. I would also work with chlorophyll right on the shingles. I've seen it heal. You also need a lot of C. Chlorophyll complex. It is from Standard Process. It is a tube of pure chlorophyll, and I have seen shingles clear within days. Friend and colleague had it all over his face. Big outbreak. Needed lots of C and lots of chlorophyll topically. It's green, but it heals. All right, Tanya, we're not making bone broth, so don't worry about finding knuckles. We only make meat stock on GAPS until you're healed and sealed. So no bone broth, no bone broth, no bone broth. All right. Meaty bones, I would check out my book for lists of meaty bones. What's a meaty bone? It's a piece of meat with a bone in it. It's a whole chicken. It's a half a chicken. It's thighs and legs. It's shanks. It's ribs, meaty neck bones, things like that. All right, let's see how much. God, we're going down. Bop, 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 bop. Hi, Charisse. Good to have you. Hi, Tanya. Just do the diet. Don't worry about detoxing heavy metals until you've been on the diet for 2 years, Tanya. Joanna asks, brine from previous batch for ferments, 1/4 cup per quart, reduce salt to 1 tablespoon. Great idea. Yes, you could use that also. Brine from previous batch for ferments. Yes. Dill says, you said in one of your videos not to use coarse salt in ferments. That's because you can't measure it accurately, Dill, really. So if you're going to get coarse salt, which is great, get yourself a mortar and pestle and grind it down to fine and then measure. That's how to do it. Shannon asks, any suggestions for where to purchase proper salt and also nuts? Yes, in shells. Shannon, jump on my website, simplybeingwell.com, go to resources salt, and that will show you where to find good salt. Yes, you'll have to go back, Tanya, and look at the video. I hope you heard me say no bone broth. No bone broth on GAPS meat stock. All right, I'm going up to Shannon now because Shannon's got a big long one. No. Shannon says, hi, Tara. Good to have you. Do you worry about lead in the mortar and pestle? It seems like everything has something to look. First of all, you know I don't worry about anything, Tara, and I tell you all not to worry either. It's just a waste of time and energy. I use a marble mortar and pestle. I got it years ago. It was a gift. Hi, Carol. Good to have you. All right. Let me jump in here. I'm trying to get quick questions answered, then I'll go to the big long one. I know we're at time. Shannon says, what stage can I eat the firm cheese from dripping my yogurt and the curds from the curds on my... Whenever you can tolerate eating yogurt, you can tolerate the cheese. Okay? All right. On Full Gaps, is there a resource to figure out what breakfast, lunch, and dinner should look like with ideas? Yes. They're in here. I would look there. Sherry, I know that sounds bratty of me, but Dr. Natasha goes through. This is what it looks like on Full Gaps. So check that out. All right. I'm going to go back up here to this great, big, huge question from Shannon. Here we go. I'll do my best. In your book on page 198, I'm confused between the instructions and the chart. Okay, so let me go to 198. I have it here. Are you talking about soaking beans and grains? Okay, the instructions say to change the water frequently, yet the chart says something different. No. Replace, yeah, quite frequently. That's fine. Yeah. I'm not really sure why that is difficult. Yeah, just... The instructions say to change the water frequently. Yet the chart says something different. I'm just unsure how to keep the water hot. You can't keep the water hot that whole time. That's why we say change the water, right? So one of the things, charts are only trying to get a lot of information down, so it makes it easy for people. So here's the deal. The idea is we're talking about legumes, folks, and beans in my new book, page 198. So soaking beans and legumes. Beans and legumes are dried. We want to soften them. And so it's best always to use warm or hot water to soak. And so you can't keep that water hot the whole time or you'd be cooking them. So go ahead and get it to hot. Right? Pour it over your beans and legumes by 1 inch to 2 inches at least. And then over time that water's going to get cold. So that's a good time to drain, more hot water or boiling water, almost boiling, simmered, and your neutralizer. Again, every time you put in new water, you put in new neutralizer. Okay? So don't wig about it. This is just supposed to be a help. I'm suggesting that you do 1 to 2 times or 2 to 3 times or as many times as you like, as is possible for you without making you stressed out. You know, we just want to make sure that the beans or legumes are soaking in the hot water or warm water more often than cold. That's all. All right. When I make my meat stock, I use the crock pot for 8 hours, place it in the fridge overnight, then put everything into the stock pot. Yeah. Bonk. Stop. We do not put everything into the stock pot and cook it for several more hours. Yeah, no. It's not okay. You are now, so I'm glad you're healing beautifully. Your symptoms were gone. Excellent. But no, we make meat stock. So meat stock, if it is poultry, is 1.5 hours to 3 hours. It's usually 1.5 hours to 2, unless you're using a stewing hen or a very older bird, or Dr. Natasha says a bird that's out on pasture will go longer. And all of your other meats this is stove. All your other meats are going to be a maximum 4 hours, 6 hours at the most for mammals. If you're going to use a crock pot, fine. If it's chicken or poultry, it's 8 hours. Done. Strain it, drink it. Eat the vegetables, eat the meat. But do not put it then do another roll. You're now making, no, not okay in the GAPS diet. I hope that's clear. Yeah, Shannon, so, meat stock, use your crock pot for 8 hours, then you can strain, let it get to room temperature before you put it in the refrigerator, and then eat it from there. That would be the way to make meat stock. Okay. If you'd like to make 6 to 7 gallons of stock, use 6 to 7 pounds of meaty bones. All right, here we go. Amanda, I think I said hello. Hello, Amanda. Let's see where we are. And last questions, folks. We're over time. Here we go. Nuts in shells. Yeah. Don't know. I would look at Living Nuts website, Living N-U-T-Z, because they actually sprout them, which is great. All right, let's see. All right. Carolina. What is the safest material for cooking pots? Stainless steel. We call it 1810 or 18.8. I just answered this on our page. Someone was looking at stock pots. Maybe if you search it, you'll find. Yeah? You're welcome, Sherry. Hello, Dawn. Hello to Maryland. You're welcome, Shannon. Cherise says, the short-cooked meat stock at a low simmer has far more healing benefits. Yes. Makes a huge difference. Yes. I used to do high heat and long time. Doesn't taste as good. Healing was happening, but nowhere as fast as with short-cooked meat stock. Thank you for that, Cherise. Thanks for adding that. Really appreciate you plugging in. All right. So, Tanya, the quick answer was that, in terms of books, is that if you have a psychological issue, like brain function, go with yellow. If you have anything else, including autoimmune, arthritis, fatigue, gut, etc., hormones, get the blue book. All right. All right, dear ones. Okay, I do have the thing from Dill that says, please put these on YouTube. I shall. I thank you all for being here. And I wish you well. And I hope you have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And be loose, folks. What I mean by that is trust that the body is healing and cut yourself a break, right? Know that if you're doing your best, you're doing your best. And that's it. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Make sure you're taking care of yourself if you're taking care of children, because you cannot pour from an empty bucket. You cannot pour from an empty bucket. Shannon says, thank you. The first time I did this was in 2014, and the only book. Yep. sure is more convenient for batch cooking. Time to change. Yes, good for you, Shannon. You're welcome, Sherry. You're welcome, Charisse. You're welcome, Fatima and Dawn and Faria and Uma and Yasmin and Carolina and Roseanne and Faria, everybody. Blessings to all of you. Okay, good to see you, Carol. Be well. You're welcome. Take good care of yourselves. We'll see you next week. Same Gaps time, same Gaps channel. Blessings, everyone. Bye now.